Hey everyone, welcome back to Arch Zenith. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a space that just felt instantly warm, lived in, and full of stories? Not because it was filled with brand new furniture or high-end decor, but because every corner whispered a little bit of history. That, my friends, is the magic of vintage finds. In a world where everything is fast, digital, and disposable, vintage design invites us to slow down. It celebrates imperfection, craftsmanship, and connection, the kind of beauty that only time can create. And today, we're diving deep into how vintage elements can unlock true coziness and timeless elegance in your home. Whether you're decorating a modern apartment, a farmhouse retreat, or a Mediterranean-inspired villa, vintage touches can add layers of depth and comfort that modern decor alone simply can't achieve. So grab a warm cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's uncover how to blend the old and the new into a home that feels beautifully authentic and uniquely yours. Section 1. The timeless appeal of vintage decor. There's a reason why vintage style continues to trend on YouTube, Pinterest, and design platforms in 2025. People are craving homes that tell stories. And nothing does that quite like a vintage piece. A weathered wooden table, a retro lamp, or a framed black and white photo. These items carry a sense of nostalgia and craftsmanship that new furniture often lacks. But what truly makes vintage so appealing is the emotional connection. When you incorporate something with history, you're adding a layer of meaning to your space. Maybe it's your grandmother's sewing machine or a flea market mirror that reminds you of old European architecture. These pieces ground your home in authenticity, helping you create that cozy, soulful vibe that modern minimalist interiors sometimes miss.
From a design perspective, vintage items also balance texture, color, and scale beautifully. They can soften the clean lines of a contemporary home or add visual interest to a minimalist space.
The beauty lies in contrast. An antique chest paired with a sleek modern sofa, or rustic brass fixtures accenting a crisp white kitchen. It's all about creating that timeless equilibrium between comfort and style. And don't forget, vintage doesn't mean outdated. It's about curating, intentionally selecting pieces that evoke warmth and history, but still blend harmoniously with today's lifestyle and aesthetic. Section 2. Curating with purpose. Finding your vintage voice. When it comes to decorating with vintage finds, the secret is in curation. You don't want your home to feel like a museum or an antique shop. Instead, think of it as creating a conversation between eras, where old meets new in a natural, balanced way. Start by identifying what kind of vintage speaks to you. Maybe you love mid-century modern with its clean geometry and warm woods. Or perhaps you're drawn to the romance of French provincial furniture, the rugged charm of farmhouse antiques, or the playful boldness of retro 70s colors. Finding your vintage voice helps you focus and build a cohesive design language throughout your space. When shopping, look for pieces with soul, not perfection. Scratches, patina, and worn edges are part of the story. They add depth and authenticity. Hunt through flea markets, estate sales, or online vintage stores. These are treasure troves for discovering one-of-a-kind pieces that can completely transform a room. A great trick is to mix vintage accents with modern essentials. Pair a classic velvet armchair with a sleek coffee table, or use antique brass hardware on newly painted cabinets. The result? A layered interior that feels both grounded in history and alive in the present. Section 3. Blending vintage and modern for a cohesive look. Now, let's talk about how to actually blend vintage finds with contemporary elements without creating a clash. The goal here is harmony, achieving a timeless flow where every piece feels like it belongs, even if it comes from a different decade. Start with a neutral foundation. Walls in soft white cream or muted earthy tones allow vintage textures to shine. Then, build layers through materials like reclaimed wood, linen, rattan, or natural stone. These organic textures echo the past while keeping your space feeling modern and breathable. Lighting also plays a big role. Vintage lighting fixtures, like a brass pendant or a retro floor lamp, can anchor a modern space with character. Meanwhile, soft ambient lighting helps enhance that cozy, nostalgic mood. Don't be afraid to use dimmable bulbs or warm-toned LEDs to mimic that vintage glow. Finally, balance is key. For every vintage statement piece, pair it with a clean-lined modern element. A rustic dresser with a frameless mirror. A weathered rug beneath a minimalist dining table. By balancing proportions and textures, you create visual continuity and ensure your space feels intentional, not cluttered. Section 4. Sustainability and storytelling through vintage design. In 2025, sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a lifestyle. And decorating with vintage is one of the most eco-friendly design choices you can make. Every time you buy a second-hand or antique item, you're reducing waste, lowering your carbon footprint, and honoring craftsmanship that stood the test of time. Unlike mass-produced furniture, vintage pieces were often made from solid wood, durable fabrics, and natural materials designed to last. Restoring or repurposing these items, like refinishing a reclaimed wood table or reupholstering a mid-century chair, gives them a new life, while adding unique charm to your home. This approach aligns beautifully with the slow living and sustainable decor trends dominating interior design this year. It encourages mindfulness, choosing fewer, better pieces that truly resonate with your lifestyle. It's about surrounding yourself with objects that have meaning and purpose, not just aesthetics. And perhaps the most beautiful part, each vintage piece you bring home carries its own story. When friends visit and ask about that old clock or rustic cabinet, you get to share not just where you found it, but why it spoke to you. That personal connection is what makes a house feel like home. Section 5. Easy ways to start incorporating vintage charm. If you're new to vintage decorating, start small. Introduce 1 or 2 statement pieces, then build from there. A vintage mirror, an old Persian rug, or a retro vase can instantly shift the energy of a room. You can also play with smaller decor accessories, antique frames, ceramic pitchers, or brass candlesticks. Mixing them with modern furniture adds a cozy, collected feel without overwhelming your space. Layer these with textiles like woven throws, lace tablecloths, or embroidered cushions to enhance that warm, nostalgic vibe. Another fun idea is upcycling. Turn old suitcases into side tables, transform vintage crates into shelves, or use old doors as wall art. This not only saves money, but adds originality and sustainability to your design story. And remember, creating a timeless home is not about following every trend. It's about creating a space that reflects you. When you choose pieces that you love and connect with, your home naturally becomes more soulful, inviting, and beautifully timeless. So, as you look around your home, think about what story you want it to tell. Vintage decor isn't about going backward. It's about carrying forward the craftsmanship, the charm, and the spirit of a time when design was built to last. By combining vintage treasures with modern comfort, you're not just decorating, you're creating a living narrative. A home where the past and present coexist beautifully, where every object has meaning and every corner feels warm and alive. So go ahead, unlock cozy with vintage finds, and design a timeless home that truly feels like you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to Arch Zenith, and share your favorite vintage find in the comments below. Until next time, stay inspired and keep creating spaces that tell your story.